The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Okay, to the recruiting reports on this Wednesday night, brought to you by Seawell's. Of course, the very best for you in the catering business. The folks at Seawell's, they get it done 110% of the time. That's right, more than 100%. Is it possible? Is it possible to do more than 100%? If it were possible, Seawell's would do it. Because
it's not, but I think Seawell's does it anyway.
Yes. They know no limitations. 803-771-7385, online at SeawellsCateringSE.com. And the daily luncheon buffet continues tomorrow. We got what?
Southern fried chicken, grilled hamburger, steak, and onions. Oh. And Thanksgiving, carved turkey with cornbread dressing.
What a trio of delicious eatery items at Seawell's tomorrow, 11 to 2. Make sure you check it out. All right, recruiting. Clemson got a commitment today from a player who just wrapped up an official. Cornerback Grayson Littleton, 6 feet 180, Tampa. And he had upcoming visits with Alabama, Oklahoma, and Iowa, obviously canceling them. Made his first visit to Clemson back on April 18th. That's when he was offered. In the spring, he went to Alabama, Ole Miss, Miami, and Iowa as well. Other offers included Michigan State, Florida, Kentucky, Georgia Tech, NC State, Maryland, Georgia, Auburn, Indiana, Louisville. He's the first commitment for the Tigers from their June official visits. He's the first cornerback commitment for the class and the 12th overall. Defensive end Bryce Davis, 6'4", 240 out of Greensboro, North Carolina, was at Clemson over the weekend. And suffice it to say, he had a great time. Loved the Tigers, loved the atmosphere, loved the coaches, loved being with the players. One thing about the Clemson situation, he sees an opportunity with their defensive end situation to play right away, and that's something they showed him with the depth chart. So that's certainly big with him, and he likes the coaches and what they had to say to him. So it was all good for him on his visit. He goes to Duke this coming weekend, then Georgia, and then South Carolina gets the last visit. He has set July 20th for his commitment announcement. Many had him pegged for Georgia for a while, but now certainly Clemson appears to be in the hunt, and then South Carolina is going to get their shot at him as well. Gamecocks had their top center prospect for the class, Isaac Souls of Louisville, 6'2", 292. He was in for his official over the weekend. Suffice it to say, he had a great visit, loved the coaches, loved the players, loved the facilities, sat down with academics, sat down with the coaches. They've made it clear to him that he is the guy they want at center. They told him that they had not recruited a true center in a couple of years, so they need him to come in and be the center. And they're laying that out for him, and he likes what he's been hearing from the Gamecocks. He's made several visits there along with this official visit. This weekend he goes to Kentucky, then he will visit Miami, then a midweek to Louisville, and then he wraps it up with an official June 21st at NC State. And then after that, he'll get around to making his decision. Clemson target offensive tackle Rowan Byrne, New Rochelle, New York, was at Clemson last weekend, and he's going to make his commitment announcement tomorrow at 2:30. He's narrowed his decision to Clemson, Michigan State, Penn State, Texas A&M, Stanford, and Florida State. Clemson was the only official visit he has taken. He was scheduled to visit Michigan State this coming weekend, so I guess you can draw your conclusions. USC target linebacker Zayden Walker, Ellaville, Georgia, committed to Georgia, was scheduled to visit South Carolina June 21st. His brother is a freshman corner with the Gamecocks. Safety Lagonza Hayward, Lyons, Georgia, set an official for this coming weekend to South Carolina, according to Gamecock Central. He was at Georgia last weekend, has Florida, Tennessee coming up. Clemson offered today 2026 offensive tackle Carter Scruggs, 6'6", 270, Leesburg, Virginia. 26 offensive tackle Tyler Merrill, 6'6", 315, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. USC offered 2027 defensive tackle Mark Matthews, 6'5", 260 of Fort Lauderdale. T.L. Hanna, cornerback Cam Strong, was offered by Michigan State. Furman has added 3 transfers to a football roster. Cornerback Mo Perkins from Midwestern State, safety Jalen Tate from Georgia State, and tight end Joshua Burrell from Florida State. I remember both Tate and Burrell from recruiting time. And baseball, 2025 right-hander Luke Rupe of North Myrtle Beach, committed to South Carolina. Hope I'm saying that right. It might be Rupe, or is it Rupe? He had been committed to Vanderbilt, and as I mentioned, his father played at NC State, was recruited by Jim Toman. Basketball, Clemson women's coach Sean Poppy signed Kentucky transfer guard 6'2" Jordy Griggs. She spent one season at UK. She played in 4 games. And we should have mentioned this earlier in the week. One-time USC target, 6'11", Jamie Vincent of Oak Hill Academy in Austin, Texas, ended up committing to Texas after all of that. And we'll be back.